Any thoughts?
I have several.
Okay,
On the second paragraph.
Yep.
Third line, it says the major change for Corcoran has caused the charter commission to move slowly. I would suggest we strike the word caused and use directed. I don't think it's cause. I think that situation has directed us to move slowly and deliberately.
Or let us,
That's that's fine.
let us.
Yeah.
not
It
let,
really didn't direct us as such, but I can understand.
Yeah.
The word cause.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's use the word led, LED, led us, or led the charter commission.
Sure.
Okay,
Then the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph, first, second line. Let's see, election cycle to every 4 years instead of 2 years as is the current condition. I don't think condition is a good word. Either practice, or if that's not good, we should say law or ordinance. I think it needs to be more precise than condition.
Currently directed in the existing charter.
Or yeah, if it's in our charter, it should have, I would suggest more legalistic language than condition.
okay, is it found in the charter or is it found in the ordinance?
For the
mayoral.
mayoral.
I think right now it's ordinance, isn't it?
I think that it is a holdover from I thought it was a holdover from our being a statutory city.
What?
From being a statutory city, but I can double check.
Yeah, it kind
Give
of
me
is.
just a moment.
It's in, I believe it's an ordinance
Okay,
at this point in time. So ordinance would probably be the word we're looking for here.
okay. Super. And then my last one is not really a word change, but a question. In the very last paragraph, it said, it is our understanding that this change would be implemented. Would it be our recommendation, or are we looking for staff?
I think the discussion we had last time, and Dan kind of raised the point, is that a change like this would typically enter in after the next election, because instead of just retroactively extending the term.
But my question on this wording, George, is in the election of the fall of 2024, are we, if this is approved, will the mayoral term be then 4 years?
4 years.
So I'm wondering if the way this is worded, this change would be implemented for the term following the next election, 2024. I wonder if we should just change the wording of that to make sure it's clear that
The term elected in 2020.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Maybe explicitly stating, so the term in 2024 will extend to 2028, like even actually providing that.
sure. If implemented,
Right.
the mayoral election of 2024 would result in a 4-year term.
Right.
To that effect.
Okay, you gotta write that one down and
Yeah.
pass it
But
along. And it, yeah, that makes
The
sense.
mayoral.
the more explicit, the better, I think, on that, because it's a little wonky.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not explained.
Yeah.
Good
That
call.
was all. that I had.
Okay, any others? Good suggestions.
Do we really need the first 2 paragraphs at all? If all we're talking about is changing the basis of the mayor's election?
Yeah, I thought about that too. I don't know if we do. You know, they kind of know a little bit about what we're doing, but not all the council members might be, you know, up to speed on what we've been doing. I don't know.
Does it distract from the conversation about the 4-year term for the mayor, though?
I think so.
Because I have a feeling people will hone in on that and maybe not necessarily focus on what we're trying to achieve.
Maybe, I like the idea of informing the council of what we've been discussing, but maybe we could do it in 1 sentence. Rather than.
Could we, I
paragraph.
mean, not saying that I want more paper by any means, but
No.
what about doing 2 pages? Right, like they're 2 separate topics and that would, or even just, you know, break this page in half with like a subheader for both, maybe.
I guess I would lean
Just so
towards
it's-
Brian's suggestion of just saying we've been working on the topic of awards. And this came forward.
Okay,
So they're aware.
That would
Yeah.
be like striking the first two paragraphs.
Yeah, and
So
just,
it's what
and
the
just
third
replace,
paragraph leads with,
Yeah.
is working on the environmental.
do it with just a single sentence, I think
Mhm.
is kind of an introduction.
Yeah.
You want to give a shot at that, Brian?
Sure.
But I think we kind of know what we're looking for there.
Thank you. Yes. I think comment here, I think that should be mayoral election.
Perfect.
I like the this last sentence that of the second paragraph. Let the charter commission move slowly and deliver this process. So we could just say, we've had discussions concerning the implementation of award system. The commission has, these discussions led the charter commission to move slowly and deliberately in this process, something to that.
Why
Can
don't,
we change slowly to fully? I like that because slowly kind of like sends a signal like you're
dragging our
right.
fully,
But we are fully and deliberately, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, fully, yeah.
we basically what we're doing is we're taking the last sentence of the second paragraph and sort of reconfiguring it with the third paragraph.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. You want me to hang out with you after you?
That would be lovely.
Okay. All right, any other comments about the letter to the council?
And
I really like the bullet points. I think that there is trying to, I think does a good job of highlighting the value proposition. So I really like that. So whoever crafted that, good job.
That was George.
Oh,
that actually is some of the discussion that was held in 1876 or 1776.
really?
Yes,
Huh. Learn something new every
For
day.
words in Corcoran.
they went back and forth. They went back and forth on the length of terms.
Uh-huh.
And the argument for short terms was it kept people accountable to the citizenry.
Right.
The argument for long terms is it takes a heck of a long time to go from Georgia to the capital. And we're gonna spend half our time traveling anyway. So we gotta, some of us want 3 years. So they had 1 year, they had 3 years, they settled on 2 for the Congress. And so there was a lot of discussion around the term limits or the length of terms, not the term limits, but length of terms. The term limit really didn't come in until the 22nd Amendment. That was when for the
But
two
it's only for the
terms,
president.
2 terms for the president.
Yeah, the guys that he wanted to go back there, they will never approve that, Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Well,
We digress.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
Back on point.
Just to let you know, I've looked at, went back to the version of the city code. And I've also looked at the charter and neither address the term, so that when we discuss this with the city attorney, that's where he recommended be a charter amendment.
okay.
So we don't currently have it anywhere just.
It's not in the charter. I didn't
It's
see it.
not in the charter and it is not in.
And the code book doesn't have it, but I
No.
do recall. I do recall seeing it in the old version of the code.
Then maybe we just use.
Real
the word-
old version. I'm talking about 30 years ago.
But maybe we use the word established and we just kind of, instead of condition, establish, because that's the established practice, right? We just say it as it's established is 2 years.
Yeah, and that's typical of charter, not charter, but statutory cities.
But then we kind of get out of the naming convention question, right? And we could just say.
But there
established.
was actually language at one time that was in a Corcoran document.
Okay.
I recall seeing it.
And it could be that
It's
we
old.
reference statute because we would have been a statutory.
You're probably right. Yeah. But see, the code that we have now is not anything like the code we had years ago.
Would the word just practice be?
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Practice.
Well, it's still, it's within the purview of the council to make that change without having to go through the charter commission. But, if it had been in the charter, then for the council to do it, they would need the unanimous support of the charter commission or the support of the charter commission. But since it's not in the charter, we're just recommending that they do it.
Yeah.
So if it gets incorporated into the charter, then if somebody tries to change it in the future, they will need to go through this process that we're doing right now.
But you have a question, if the term is not mayoral term is not part of the charter, are we actually recommending an amendment, or are we recommending adding an aspect to the charter? Is that the same thing?
It'd still be an amendment to the charter. Yeah,
Because we're amending the actual charter, we're not amending an existing. Okay.
yeah, and that begs the question then too, if we're amending the charter for the mayor's office, we probably need to incorporate that for the council as well,
We certainly could.
because they should be in the same place.
Yeah, yes, I like that. That's very smart.
The charter doesn't address.
The charter is silent on it. So
One source of truth.
we need to, and I looked in the code and I couldn't find anything either. So at least not the present code, and I don't have an old code book from years ago.
So we would include,
We could look at adding a 7.02. Or a chapter. We could look at adding that, and you could direct, with sending this to council, you want it directed to the language of the ordinance. Amendments also include
council.
stating the council.
It's not a council.
For the unanimous vote, if somebody's not able to make it, could they vote in absentia with a written?
I don't believe they can.
No, I spoke with the city attorney, and it has to be every person it has to be all of the members, the way that the charter is written, it has to be all of the members of the council, and it has to be unanimous.
Yeah. Now, if for some reason they don't have a quorum of 5 people at the next meeting, you mentioned that we would have to get together. I'm not sure that we would. I think the council could then address it at their following meeting, couldn't they?
The language in there says it has to be adopted within 1 month of it going to the council.
Wouldn't
so-
they meet within that?
So
Okay.
So the earliest we could get it to the council for into the paper publication based on the current schedule, it would be October 20th, because we do have to bring it to the city council meeting on the 12th. To have them call for that. I don't have a full quorum of council on October 26th. And we were unable to meet the deadlines as the city attorney reviewed them for the November 20th meeting. So the November 9th meeting would have to be the meeting. I spoke with the city attorney about this, and he said, we just hold a very brief meeting to send this again on a particular date when we know normally we might have, if I knew that we had 2 back-to-back meetings where I'd have council, it'd be easier. I just don't know that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But we'll send it off to the council, and then they will notify us if they didn't have a quorum and had to be removed from the agenda.
And the attorney could prepare the language for.
Yes, he can prepare.
Yeah.
He prepared the draft amendment language, so I just asked him
Sure.
to add the counselor terms
Would you be able to email a revised draft of this to us?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Can do
Yeah.
that.
Our.
Of the letter
Of
and
this, yeah.
the,
From what we did already.
I can send both of those out before I leave.
Do you want,
Or I can send them, I'll get the.
are you also asking for, how the amendment is gonna be worded too?
Sure.
I'll send that to the city attorney. I know he's in mediation tomorrow, but likely by the end of the week or early next week, I'll have a copy. And I will ask him to send it out. to you.
So in terms of our action here tonight. Can we mark up this version to include the council in the direction and then still act on it here tonight? The letter, the transmittal letter is less critical than the actual document.
Well, I guess the question is, are you all comfortable with the language, or we could hold another meeting in October and the December 18th meeting or November 20th meetings? I think I have quorums for both of those. I haven't heard any different.
Or we
So
could
we
do
could
this,
look at
we could let this stand alone. And do a second recommendation on the second amendment. That addresses the council. To get that more. Into the charter, to the top of the list. You know, because really what we're trying to do is address the mayoral term and trying to clean up. The other aspect, and I would hate to lose time. On the mayoral term.
Right.
Simply because we're trying to clean up the charter in another area.
Good.
jump on that.
So why don't we just, keep this as a standalone item? And then we can, at the next meeting, if we're called to another meeting, we can we could have,
I'll ask the attorney to draft
yeah.
that additional language if the commission is comfortable directing me to do that.
Yeah. Let me take I have a motion to approve a second amendment addressing the council at 4-year terms. And do I have a motion on that?
Yeah.
Jim, and second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
Is that what we're looking at right here?
No,
Okay.
no, we're just making,
To vote on what?
we are making, we're voting on directing staff to have a second amendment to the charter that would include or address rather the council as a 4-year term, because that's actually not part of our charter. Okay. So we have a first and a second, first by Jim and the second by Randy. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So then we will. Do I have a motion to vote on the resolution recommending an amendment to the Corcoran City Charter?
I will make that motion.
Motion by Gamad, second by Jonathan Coots. Do we need to do this individually or?
No, as long as I can hear all the ayes.
All right,
If you are saying nay, we'll try to watch.
Say nay louder.
Yeah, make sure, or when we say nay, I'll just watch.
Right.
If anyone has a nay on it.
Louder than sayer.
Yeah,
so all in favor of this resolution recommending an amendment to the Corcoran City Charter regarding the mayoral terms? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same?
do we have to correct spelling on that?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness,
shade.
I will make a clerical change to that before it gets
I
sent to
didn't
them.
know if I was supposed to tell you.
No, I
we had the meeting.
appreciate that. To be, I have
You
never
spelled it
had-
right later.
I did, later in the sentences.
It's okay.
And right before it too.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
That being done, is there any other business for tonight?
Some of their annual
We-
report.
The annual report, we do have the annual report. As well, did we want to continue any discussion on boards? One of the items we had, if we wanted to continue that, or if we want to have that at a future meeting. If we want to do, we had talked at one point about doing a couple meetings a year, so maybe if we
Sure.
want to do a March meeting on. Continued
You know what?
discussion, or do we want to hold off?
I'd be willing to set it in March and just
Yeah,
not deal with it tonight.
but what I ask of the Charter Commission is for you to kind of get out among the residents of the city of Corcoran, your neighbors and people who you're connected with, and just so that there's some conversation, and just let them know what we have been discussing for 2 or 3 years, and why, and what their thoughts are, get feedback. I still want to go back to our last meeting where I think we need to have some triggers to pull to move forward. And I'm not even sure what all those triggers might be. There were some that were brought up, but there could be more out there. And so I think that would be a good thing for us to do. And maybe Jessica, we can get a March meeting.
It's just putting up the calendar here for March. Is there a particular date so you all can put it on your calendars?
Not
We
the
can call
17th.
for it.
Well,
Not the 17th?
I'm out the 17th, so,
Are you gonna reapply?
well, somebody was supposed to give me a,
Jim, I'm gonna send a actually, I'm gonna print it for you. Better.
I mean, would
a
the
form
March,
letter.
there you go. Would the March session be like maybe more of a brainstorming? Maybe discuss the triggers, discuss the feedback, so maybe we could kind of already kind of tailor the scope of that conversation so we can make it the most fruitful.
Yeah, that'd probably make it more productive.
17th is a Sunday. So.
Well, St. Patty's Day, I
Yeah,
mean, that's
so-
my.
yeah, right, yeah.
Green beard.
Yeah.
Is Tuesday night still a good time for everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, let's do that. Jessica, you can pick something that works for staff.
Well, if Tuesdays work, how about we temporarily schedule that for Kathy, do you have a date you'd prefer?
I don't, whatever date works for.
19th?
The 19th would be just fine.
Okay, shoot it for. 19th.
March 19th at the 6 p.m. work or
Yeah.
6:30?
What is it? 6. Yeah.
So by that time, Ken will be gone, right? Is he up at the cabin now?
I think didn't he get reappointed, Ken?
He did.
Yes.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
He did. I have not heard that he has officially left town yet.
You should wait till spring to know.
That would be great.
He might change his mind otherwise.
March 19th.
That is Tuesday.
It gets to be tough up there.
Okay, any other items for discussion here?
I think. Review of correspondence, we didn't receive any correspondence, but we have discussed a few the charter amendments.
And the minutes from the last meeting,
Yes, I was gonna note that the minutes, I apologize, I was not able to get those done before today. So I will work with our team to try to get those.
so if we are called in for another meeting, we can approve those minutes.
Yes.
At the.
So when do we find out if the whole council is, when are they gonna vote then?
So as of the wait for the charter commission, the charter amendment, it would be November 9th. So we will know, so on October 12th, they'll
Let's make-
call to have the notice made. If for some reason we know by that day that they can't have that meeting, we'll be able to reschedule. So I think by October 12th, we'll know if November 9th works.
How far out do we need to, schedule the meeting for the charter?
Meetings of city business need to be scheduled at least 4 days in advance. Technically 3 days, but the first day doesn't count.
So we're not, like,
Need
we don't
special
have to be
meeting.
30 days. or-
We do not have a
Alright.
requirement that far out. It's generally called by the chair or the mayor of the group if it's something outside of the standard meeting.
Sure, okay. Well, if we need another meeting, we will notify all of you. And we should try and again for a Tuesday evening.
I think so. If those seem to work for folks, if Tuesdays at 6 generally work, I think that would be good for us. I'm gonna get Jim a copy of the application before I leave here today, but otherwise the terms are listed in the packet. And then we have our annual report to the judge that outlines where they can find the information on all of the work that we've done last year.
And the fact that we haven't approved the minutes yet, I guess the question then would be, do those get submitted to the judge, or does that just get submitted as a draft, or we don't submit anything and just let him look online?
Generally, we have just let them look online at the packet, because the packet's also a permanent document.
Okay.
And would have all of the information that they'd be looking.
Okay, so we're fine.
And then,
Question, Brad.
Sure.
Over there.
I just wanted to ask a question. Jessica, I didn't get an agenda for tonight in my packet, so I don't know if those were missing.
oh no,
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
So
But
just-
that's really strange.
it was right up there.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Thank you. That must have been
Yeah, I just thought you might want to know if somebody put. the
thank you.
packets together.
Yes, no, that's
That
good to
was-
know.
That was the reason for my email this afternoon to verify the time.
I apologize on that. You know what?
I thought it was because of the minutes, so.
Oh, well, you know what, on Friday, it was quite, we had at least one of our staff members out, so I helped with the packets, and I might have literally just forgot to get them off the printer. Michelle found a whole stack of agendas, and that's probably. Yeah,
There were 13 or 14 of them, that's about right.
It's all coming together.
yeah. I didn't piece it together until now, but
Yeah, we'll live.
Every
They were
time I
supposed
go
to
to the
go
front door
somewhere.
and there's a cat standing there, I get a little worried.
yeah, I can
Well,
understand.
I mean, I was
My
like.
wife saw the
I'm pretty
taillights
sure it was
leaving.
I was like,
and
I'm
they
pretty sure
jacked
it's
it up.
6. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 6.
She got kind of excited.
Apologies on that, I'm sorry, you all. I
Well,
did not mean.
I
to-
actually went on to the city calendar and I was like, that's right. I was like, oh, 6 o'clock. So I was like, cool. Yeah. so-
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was 6. I just
Yeah.
wanted to verify.
I appreciate you.
Because we
guys
have
checking
had some
in.
5:30.
Well, yeah, because we wrote that down
I think our.
on the last
meeting
paper.
on the last-
Yeah.
With the council, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, to provide that
Yeah.
transition. yeah.
I think besides that, are we all comfortable with Tuesday, September 8th Charter Commission meeting for 2024? I do know that the for the annual meeting, September 8th happens to be,
And where's Labor Day, you know?
that's exactly what I was just
Mhm.
pulling up right now. November 2020, Labor Day is the
Second,
second, yeah. So, oh, that's odd. Tuesday is not the 8th,
Tuesday,
is the 10th.
yes.
Oh, man, I was having problems, apparently.
sure you didn't catch something?
When is your last date?
next Thursday.
Yesterday?
And
Just one more cup of coffee,
So
we'll be
our,
okay.
so our packet, our council packet on Friday was 527 pages, and so that consumed a lot of my Friday.
Wow.
Helping with Linda, so I apologize.
27 pages.
We have a lot of planning items that are meeting this week.
Yeah.
Feel bad for the trees, jeez.
Yeah.
It was a lot,
Eliminate
some
paperwork,
do
yeah.
view it online, but
You know,
it,
the risk when they get that big is that people don't dig in.
I said people throw out their back was my thought.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's hard, you know, if you're working a full-time job and you're serving on the
Right.
council, going through that much paperwork
That's. tough.
ahead of the meeting, I mean, it's like you're back in graduate school again.
That's like
Yeah,
four, that's like 4 to 5
yeah.
books, to be honest, right?
Yeah,
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
yep.
Anything else on the agenda we need to cover, seeing as I don't have one?
Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
okay. No, I think we are
Oh,
good to go. I was just pulling up I
okay,
think we have covered all of the pieces.
Yeah, just the annual report to the judges, we
annual
talked
report
about
to
it a
the
little bit,
judge.
but
Are we comfortable moving that forward? Do you want to do that with the motion?
the
The
report,
annual report?
sure. We have a motion to accept the annual report to the honorable judge.
So moved.
First
Atkinson.
Atkinson, and second,
I'll second it.
Tilbury, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right,
I
so
appreciate it.
do I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Seconded?
Second by Atkinson.
No,
Oh,
first by him, seconded me.
Okay, okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Wow.
Thank you.